Thank you, Last Count Corla. I want to appeal to the government to listen to the sentiment of the House this evening and appeal to them to accept opposition amendments to include services in this bill, or even better, bring forward your own amendments in later stages. The vote on the Occupied Territories Bill does not need to be divisive. But the government have chosen division by deciding to exclude services from the content of the bill before us today. And this is despite the original draft presented by Senator Francis Black. This is despite the very detailed recommendations of the Joint Oireachtas Committee. This is despite the legal views of many legal experts. And it is despite the very clear legal opinion from the International Court of Justice from July 2024. And let's recall that decision. Let's recall what the International Court of Justice held was states' obligations. It said all states are under an obligation to abstain from entering into economic or trade dealings and prevent trade or investment relations with the settlements. A very clear statement, and they were very clear that trade included goods and services, and indeed even the Irish government, even the Department of Foreign Affairs legal experts who gave testimony at the Joint Oireachtas Committee, even they accepted that point as well. So why is the government presenting us with a bill that excludes services? The government used to tell us that it was for legal reasons. The argument continuously trotted out was the fact that Attorney General's advice, and that was despite the fact that the Attorney General's advice from 2024, advice that I was lucky enough to see, lucky enough to hear presented to me, made it very clear that there was no distinction made between goods and services. And indeed, when you look at the sanctions regime that Ireland has signed up to with respect to Russia, that sanctions both trade with goods and services with Russia without any difficulty. And indeed, if you look at the whole body of European Union law, it has a detailed body of case law and legislation specifically on the question of services. So the issue is not a legal one. It is a political one, and in fairness that's become even more clear from remarks made by government spokespeople and the Taoiseach in recent days. And it is clear that it is fear of the Trump administration that is driving this decision, and an illogical argument that the Trump administration, they might tolerate a bill that bans services, but if we deal with a bill that covers, that bring forward a bill that covers trade and services, that somehow that will be a step too far for the Trump administration. Now is not the time to allow our values as a country to be shaped by fear of the Trump administration. Minister, I appeal to you, bring forward amendments that include services in this bill.